Greetings, Otaku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm back to bring you this month's Anime Favorites video segment right here on Otaku Assemble! Weekly. I'm back to bring you my anime favorite for the month of August, and this month I've decided to take this time out to do both a review, a discussion, a favorite hero, favorite villain, all that jazz on my second all-time favorite anime and manga series, and in my personal opinion, the #1 greatest supernatural themed anime and manga series of all time. And that is Yu Hakusho. Yes. Yu Hakusho. Now, for those of you all who have seen my response to the Game Addicts Yu Hakusho halfway impressions video, it's a rather old video. For any of you all who might remember it, I will repeat a lot of what I said in that video, but that's because this is that was a video response, and this is more of my official Yu Hakusho review / discussion vid. So, actually, let me go ahead, just so I don't lose my place throughout this video, let me go ahead and grab, I forgot I had this, but let me go ahead and grab my my list here. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and let's get into this vid. Now, a brief summary of what Yu Hakusho is about. Okay, Yu Hakusho is the story of a 13-year-old boy named Yusuke Urameshi. 13, 14. And what happens that actually Yu Hakusho is unique in this aspect, because I have yet to see another series to do that. But what they do is they kill off the main character at the very beginning of the series. Yusuke dies in the first chapter, in the first episode of the manga, first episode of the anime. Yusuke dies. The reason for that is because Yusuke is your typical middle school punk. He's your typical middle school punk. He's not in a gang though. See, he's not in a gang. You know, he does the lone wolf thing, flying solo. You know, he's a typical punk. You know, makes bad grades, cut class, has little to no tolerance for authority, or respect for authority rather. Well, both. You know, skips school all the time. His dad isn't around. He's a no-show. His mom's a drunk. You know, shit, now that I think about it, yeah, me and Yusuke had a lot in common during those middle school years. But with that said, so what happens is Yusuke does something that is completely outside of his character. He saves the life of a little boy who was almost hit by a car. Yusuke risks his life to save the little boy. Now, to Yusuke's surprise, the little boy would have survived anyway. But because that was unexpected, because Yusuke died ahead of time, okay? Honestly, there was no place for him in Spirit World. So, that's when we get introduced to two other main characters. Botan, who is I'm trying to get the correct term. Was it Rider of the River Styx? But pretty much she's a Shinigami. She's a Grim Reaper. And she is the one who, for all intents and purposes, is Yusuke's sidekick. Trainer and sidekick. Assistant, if you will. And the second character is Koenma. Koenma is the prince of the spirit world, and he is Yusuke's boss. Koenma pretty much gives Yusuke a chance to return back to life. Yusuke does so, but it was within the time that Yusuke had to go throughout these ordeals to earn his life back. Koenma saw the potential in Yusuke to become a spirit detective. What a spirit detective is, you can probably imagine. Yusuke is pretty much a representative of the spirit world, and it is his job to take on cases in which demons and apparitions of all sorts are threatening the human race and the earth itself. That's what Yusuke does. That's his job. He's pretty much humanity's defender against demons and other apparitions. I want to go back and reference the Toonami promo for Yu Hakusho. They said, between the world of the living and the realm of the dead, he is both champion and protector. That's pretty much what Yusuke does. And for the most part, because everything I've just explained takes place within the first episode of the series. So for the most part, throughout the rest of the series, that's what the series comprises of. It comprises of Yusuke and his fellow friends and teammates as they take on multiple cases, battling demons and apparitions, and all the while, like I said, protecting humanity, protecting the earth, but also discovering things about themselves. And that's as much of a brief summary as I can give without giving too much more away. But I do want to warn you all right here and now, there will be spoilers later on in this video. So, and I'll let you know when we get to the spoiler. Actually, yeah, we'll probably get to the spoiler portion right now, because now I'm going to discuss my favorite heroes and favorite villains of the series. Now, Yu Yu Hakusho, once again, is another unique series. In my opinion, this is where Yu Yu Hakusho is also another unique series. And that is, there are little to no characters in this series that I dislike. Which is why, I have on my list here to discuss least favorite characters, heroes, and villains. I honestly don't think I could do that, though, because like I said, Yu Yu Hakusho is a unique series in which I like pretty much every character introduced in this series. Not many anime and manga can do that for me. But, and I'm not just talking about the main characters either, or the main villains, even the side characters. I genuinely enjoy just about every character in this series. Even the teachers, the two dick teachers that we meet at the beginning of the series, even them, I even like them for the antagonist role that they play. I know there's let me see, because okay, I can't remember the teacher's name offhand. I know one of them is named Tanaka, but I'm not sure if that's the teacher or if that's the principal, just off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, even those characters I like. Honestly, I can't think of one character in Yu Yu Hakusho that I don't like. Can't think of one. But with that said, let me discuss my favorite hero and my favorite villain in the series. My favorite hero, hands down, is Kurama. Love Kurama. I love the character of Kurama. The reasons for that is this. Number one, Kurama, he's the brain, he's the brains of the group. He's the brains of the organization. But Kurama is so intelligent. Kurama is intelligent in a cunning sense. I'm going to repeat that term again. Cunning. Kurama is a fox. Kurama is a spirit fox, okay? Kurama, he is a notorious spirit fox. He was a notorious thief in all of spirit world. Not just demon world, in all of spirit world. And one deadly encounter Kurama was, back when he was Yoko Kurama, he was defeated in a battle and he had to retreat. So he retreated to the living world, and he pretty much placed himself within the body of a unborn human child who was later born as Suichi Minamono. And as the child grew up, he, more and more of Yoko emerged within his subconscious and within his personality. So that's why when we get introduced to Kurama in the series, he's a 15-year-old, but he knows oh too well about who he is and about his history. He knows who he is. So there is no dumb shit about, oh, it's a demon hidden inside of a young child, and his power emerges sporadically and all that dumb shit. No, none of that dumb Naruto shit. None of that. Kurama knows exactly who he is. He has all of his memories, and for the most part, he has all of his abilities. For the most part. So I enjoyed that aspect of the character right there. But like I said, it's funny because that personality of the fox really is inside of Kurama. It really is, because, like I said, he is devastatingly intelligent. There are multiple times within this series that Kurama uses his wit to get out of situations, and it is astonishing, okay? Personal favorite moment of mine, of Kurama. Personal favorite moment. It is two, actually. It's two. In the Chapter Black Saga, and this is where there will be spoilers. In the Chapter Black Saga, Kurama is forced to play a video game against a young boy who's being used. He's being exploited at the behest of the story arc's main villain, Shinobu Sensui. I'm trying to remember what the boy's name was, actually, because wow, his name's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. I want to say it's no, it's not Maroda. Maroda is another character. Anyway, but what happens is Kurama's pretty much the last one up at bat, because everyone else in the team has already played the game and they've either won or they're lost. Kurama and this young boy engage in a quiz bowl variety video game. And Kurama is able to answer the questions without the question even appearing. That's because, well, I believe Kurama does have a photo memory. But, Kurama has played that video game so many times that he's memorized the questions, the answers, the order in which they appear, and the probability in which the quizzes are randomized. Just like the Game Master has also. But the thing is, Kurama figures out exactly how that game's going to end. And he knows the fate of that little boy. However, he continues to play that game with such a straight face, with such a cold cold exterior. It is almost scary. But we find out afterwards that Kurama really was pissed. Because if it wasn't for the main villain of that arc, Sensui, if it wasn't for his fucked up plan, forcing Yusuke and his team to kill that little boy, they would have never done it. And the little boy had no idea what was going to happen should he had lost that game. So when he lost and he died, Kurama went ham on one of the other characters, one of the other villains that reappears in the story arc is the Elder Toguro. And oh, he went ham on that boy. Oh my god. Actually, you know what? Normally I would go ahead and tell you guys what he did, but I'd much rather you check it out for yourself, because I think it was in that episode that Kurama pretty much set in stone, I am not to be fucked with. Yusuke says it himself. He says, Kurama, if I ever did anything to make you angry, I'm sorry. But yeah, in that episode, Kurama set the standard for not to be fucked with. And that's why that, and also, I'm not sure if this is Togashi, the original author, or if this is the anime adaptation. I don't know who is to credit for what I'm about to say, but Kurama's dialogue throughout the series is superfluous. He has the best. I think he has the best dialogue in the series. Kurama, oh man. Okay, well, with that said, matter of fact, I think my alarm's about to go off. I really should have set this. I really should have set this much longer than I did. But so as I was saying, and there it is. But as I was saying, like, yeah, Kurama's dialogue is really good. Even his subtle little jokes is like really well done. I'm anyway. But with that said, I'm gonna go ahead. With that said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get into my favorite villain of the series. And this one was really hard. This one was really hard. Because for those of you who haven't seen the series, well, no, rather, for those of you who have seen the series, and for those of you who haven't, Chapter Black, hands down, Chapter Black is not my favorite story arc, but it is the best one in the series. Okay, let me say that again. Chapter Black is not my personal favorite story arc, but it is the best one in the series. Those of you who've seen Chapter Black know why. Those of you who haven't, let me just put it to you like this. As I stated in my video response to the Insane Game Freak, aka the Game Addict, and even he, shout out to my man, shout out, even he had to agree with what I told him before he saw Chapter Black. I told him, I said, dude, if you watch Yu Hakusho, before you get into Chapter Black, for the most part, that series is black and white. Black and white, good and bad, good and evil, clear cut, straight to the point. But in Chapter Black introduces 1,000 shades of gray. And some of the shit that happens in Chapter Black will flip you the fuck out. Honestly, I know I do have a few young audiences, young people in attendance who watch my vids. I don't want to. I do not want to knock y'all. I don't. But honestly, I do not recommend anyone beneath the age of 16 to watch Chapter Black. I don't, because some of the shit that goes down in that series, some of the themes, some of the topics that are discussed in that series, honestly, are for 18 and up. But I think for the most part, most 16-year-olds, especially those who have been watching anime, and reading manga for a while, should be mature enough for that. Then again, I am never surprised by how, because I've been wrong in my assessments of how mature people really are numerous times. A lot of times I give people too much credit. But yeah, Chapter Black is pretty much where the series enters whoa shit territory. Because like I said, a black and white series that's the introduction of 1,000 Shades of Grey. The villains in that series, the villain of Shinobu Sensui is hands down one of the best villains in all of anime and manga. Hands down. There is not a single human being to ever have existed that has seen Chapter Black. You can't tell me Sensui is not one of the best villains ever written, ever conceived. Sensui. What the fuck, man? Man. We're talking about a villain who is, number one, excruciatingly powerful. Actually, I think this is when Yu Hakusho got into its first OP villain. Because we had Toguro in the Dark Tournament, but Toguro had a limit. And Toguro had a gauge. And even he recognized it because he said it multiple times. I'm using 20%. I'm using 40%. Toguro had a gauge. We did not know where Sensui was clocking out at, man. Sensui was the first OP character in Yu Yu Hakusho, as far as I'm concerned. Once again, Sensui was... his intelligence and his cunning challenged that of Kurama's. Sensui did shit that fucking put Kurama's logic in the gutter. And he was so cutthroat. Oh my god. Sensui was, for all intents and purposes, he was both the justified and the evil for evil's sake villain wrapped in one, man. He was... Sensui was the Lucifer of this series, man. He was... man. But, funny enough, Sensui's not my favorite villain. He's not. My favorite villain in the Yu Yu Hakusho series is the character of Yomi. Loved Yomi. From the first time they mentioned him to the last time we saw him on camera, I love Yomi. Yomi is, spoiler alert, Yomi is one of the 3 demon rulers. He's one of the 3 demon kings of Demon World. And he's the youngest one of them also. Yomi was a former running mate of Yoko Kurama. And in fact, Yomi was betrayed by Yoko Kurama. And in the saga of the 3 kings, he recruits he recruits Kurama for what is to be the final showdown between the 3 demon kings, because there's a power struggle between the 3 demon kings towards the end of the series. And, you know, he recruits Kurama to his side, but he also forces his hand. He blackmails Kurama. He makes himself appear as a harmless, sincere diplomat. But all the while, Kurama is very wary of Yomi because he knows what he is capable of. He knows exactly how dangerous Yomi is. And Yomi, for all intents and purposes, you know what? Now that I think about it, this is probably why Yomi is my favorite villain in the series, because Yomi is the perfect complement to Kurama. Because Kurama is my favorite hero, and Yomi is his perfect match. That's probably why he is my favorite villain. And I'm not talking about a match in power, because Yomi is leagues more powerful than Kurama. But I'm talking about as far as intelligence, as far as wit, cunning. Woo! Yomi is very cunning. But I would go ahead and argue that he is just as cutthroat as Sensui. Yomi, man. And the final fight with Yomi and Yusuke, I adored that fight with the utmost intensity. Oh, I love that fight. I love that fight. That is my favorite fight in the series, was the Yomi Yusuke fight. And it was brief. It only lasted like 2 episodes. But man, it was worth every fucking second. That's another reason why I liked it so much, because it was quick, you know. But oh man, when Yomi got those when he lit up his fist with those demon energy boxing gloves almost, and went to town on Yusuke, man. Yomi was going at that nigga, man. I loved every fucking minute of that. So with that said, like I said, I have no least favorite character. I mean, I really don't have. There really aren't any characters in this series that I didn't like. But favorite story arc, like I said, my favorite story arc, while Chapter Black is the best one in the series, hands down. I don't think anyone can doubt that Chapter Black's the best one. My favorite one is the Saga of the Three Kings, and the reason for that is because that was the last saga in the series. That is the one where we got Kurama's backstory for the most part. We finally got Hiei's backstory. We finally saw Yusuke, Hiei, and Kurama both on opposing teams, but working together. We like that type of thing. That was a real. I really did enjoy the way that dynamic worked within the story, because you had Yusuke, Kurama, and Hiei all fighting for a separate Demon King. But with that said, they were also kind of working together. Saga of the Three Kings also, I believe is the shortest saga, because you have pretty much Yu Hakusho is composed of 4 sagas: Spirit Detective Saga, Dark Tournament Saga, Chapter Black Saga, and Saga of the Three Kings. And out of those 4, I believe Saga of the Three Kings is the shortest one. And you can tell that Saga of the Three Kings was rushed. I think it's apparent that by that point in the story, Togashi was rushed. Like, he rushed the ending. Because he really could have taken Saga of Three Kings. He really could have made it a lot longer. But we got introduced to the S-Class and the Super S-Class demons. We got introduced to all, like I said, we did see the Three Kings, which the Three Kings, all 3 of the Three Kings are amongst my favorite Yu Yu Hakusho characters. Raizen, love Raizen as a character. Makoro, that girl could whoop some ass, man. I love Makoro. She is a damn good fucking villain. Correction, because Makoro isn't a villain. Correction, she isn't a villain. She's not. Yeah, villain wasn't the correct term. What I meant was, she's a damn good fighter. She's a damn good monarch. Um, but she's just a really good character. I mean, okay, so with that said, because I know this video's like, okay, I just passed 30 minutes, but I've been marathon recording, so it feels like it's been longer. My least favorite story arc would probably be the Spirit Detective arc, and that's because the Spirit Detective arc is made up of a bunch of mini arcs. Because the Spirit Detective saga is made up of a bunch of mini arcs, because you have the arc when Yusuke's getting his body back. You have the arc with the three spirit thieves, which were Hiei, Kurama, and Goki. You have the 4 Saint Beast arc, which I actually did enjoy. You had the I fucked up because I always skip the Genkai tournament. I always skip the Genkai tournament / training arc. I always skip that arc because I keep forgetting about it. But yeah, you have that arc in there too. All of those 4 arcs comprise the Spirit Detective saga. Like I said, I enjoy I do enjoy the Spirit Detective saga. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I hate it. I love that saga. But like I said, compared to the other 3, it is my least favorite out of the series compared to the other 3. But I know a lot of people trash on the early episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't. Every episode of Yu Yu Hakusho is beneficial to the series. Every episode. There is no filler in Yu Yu Hakusho. There isn't. There's no filler in Yu Yu Hakusho, which is another reason why it's one of my favorite series, because there's no filler. But, well, it's kind of funny considering that my other top 4 do have filler. Yeah, actually, Yu Yu Hakusho is the only anime in my top 5 favorite that does not have filler. It's actually one of the few anime that I've ever seen that don't have filler at all. But, so with that said, so why is it my favorite? I'm just going to go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up with why it's my favorite. The reason why Yu Yu Hakusho is my second favorite anime of all time is, like I said, Yu Yu Hakusho is my second favorite of all time behind DBZ. Only for the sole purpose that DBZ had better action. DBZ had better fights, in my personal opinion. I felt like, you know, DBZ was notorious for having in-canon filler, because what they would do is, for the Dragon Ball Z series, they would make the fights a hell of a lot longer. They would stretch those fights out across numerous episodes to no end. But that's what made those fights so iconic. You know, I always make the joke, the last 5 minutes on Namek lasted like 15 episodes, you know. Took forever, you know. The last 5 minutes took a month. But that's what made those fights so iconic. Yu Yu Hakusho doesn't do that. Yu Yu Hakusho, like I said, no filler. They do have fights that span multiple episodes, but all the fights are pretty much wrapped up within 3 to 4 episodes for them. I mean, the longest fight in the series was the Sensui fight, and that was probably, okay, the longest fight in the series is the Sensui fight, and that was probably the whole entire fight. Lasted probably 8 episodes. The entire fight lasted probably between 8 and... No, I'd say about 8 episodes. It could be 10, but I want to say it's about 8 episodes for the entire Sensui fight. No, it is 10. Actually, it probably is. It's closer to 10. But... So that's the only... I shit you not. The fights in DBZ is the only reason why DBZ is my #1 favorite over Yu Yu Hakusho. Because Yu Yu Hakusho had, hands down, better characters, better writing, Oh, the writing, the writing. Oh God. This is, I have to say, Yu Yu Hakusho is probably Funimation's, the Funimation English dub of Yu Yu Hakusho. This is probably the best work Funimation's ever done. The voice, the number one. The script, the adaptation, the script, flawless for the most part. Well, damn near flawless for the most part. The dialogue is on point. The voice acting, iconic. The music, oh my fucking god! How much time do I have left on this? You know what? Cause y'all don't know. Y'all look. I'm talking about you all who don't watch or haven't seen you. You don't y'all y'all don't know, man. The fucking shit. The fucking music. The music. Oh my god, the music. And yes, you know, this is an older series. You know, Yu Yu Hakusho, the anime came out in what, 93? And, you know, it's late 80s, early 90s was when the manga was out, you know. Because I believe the manga came out in 89. So, you know, it is an older series, but it's an older series, but, you know, I mean, so, you know, the music has that 80s kind of feel, but, man, Smile Bomb, the opening theme for Yu Yu Hakusho is my all-time favorite J-pop, J-rock, anime theme song ever. Love it. This motherfucker right here. Yes, that's my shit, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is my shit. I'm sorry. If y'all ain't feeling that shit, I don't give a damn, okay? Nah, fuck that. If y'all not feeling that shit, I don't give a fuck. That is my motherfucking jam, boy. That if you ain't feeling that shit, you ain't got a soul. Seriously, you don't. Huh, and apparently I can't use my chapters on here. Screw this. Wait a minute. Let's try something right quick. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see if I can't... they don't let me use my chapters on here. Bytes. But... what I want to do is I want to play my favorite ending. See, Yu Yu Hakusho has the anime has 5 endings, but the 5th one was hands down my favorite ending. Hands down my favorite ending. I absolutely love the 5th ending. Love it to death. But it won't let me. Okay. What we'll have to do. Wow, I'll have to fast forward all the way to the end of the episode before we can get to my 5th. See, the thing is, I have the second half of the series. I actually have on bootleg because it was a birthday gift from my sister. She hooked me up with these, so that's why, you know, That's why I don't have. That's why the first 2 seasons I have the box sets, but the last 2, oh yes. And this is my episode, Yomi Yusuke fight. I love it, absolutely love it. But let's see if we can't get to my song. It's almost over. Play, please.
My fight with Yomi has to come to an end, along with the even more time. And then we have to find out what happens to the rest of all of our lives. I'll tell you how the whole thing ends, but of course I'd have to kill you then. And then you wouldn't be able to see it for yourself on the next to last Yu Hakusho. So
yeah, this is the second to last episode I'm playing, but this right here. Favorite ending. Love it, 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 love it. But anywho, so yeah, I went and whoo man, 42 minutes on this video. Fuck am I doing? I'm sorry, but it's Yu Hakusho. It's Yu Hakusho, ladies and gentlemen. But with that said, actually, you know what? I think I got my point across. I think I did. And actually, I kind of, you guys couldn't see it because it was off camera, but while the music was playing, I was dancing. You guys couldn't see it. Sorry. But anywho. But yeah, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wrap this video up, and that's going to do it for Yu Hakusho, my anime favorites for the month of August. For all of you who are curious, who are wondering, my anime favorite for September will be Rurouni Kenshin. Yes! The Rurouni Kenshin, well, this is actually, because I went and picked this one up too. These are the Samurai X films, well, the OVA and the motion picture. But yes, I will be reviewing the whole series. The animated series, the manga, and the 2 OVAs, and the motion picture. That's going to be my anime favorite for September. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wrap this up. I want to thank you all for joining me again this week. Thank you for sticking around for this long-ass video. But with that said, as always, comment, rate, subscribe. Guys, hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/otakuassemble. Twitter, twitter.com/otakuassemble. Blog TV, blogtv.com/otakuassemble. And I'm on Skype, otaku_assemble. And with that said, this is Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, signing off, and I will catch you cats later. Peace.